Good morning, my dear student. Today I am going to discuss with you how is a tax seller, how is a tax distributed, seller and buyer. It is most important aspect how we can find if government imposed any tax like specific tax or ad valorem tax, any type tax. There's two type tax, direct tax and indirect tax. If government impose indirect tax, means there is two variable indirect tax. One is incidence and impact. So impact is government impose particular seller or buyer, but effect, finally effect is seller or buyer is called the impact. If tax shifting called indirect tax. Indirect tax always shifting to seller to buyer. Okay, but after seller to buyer shifting, how many percentage share by consumer and how many percentage shares by producer? So it is a simple logic. If government tax लगाती है तो उसका पे कौन करेगा, कंज्यूमर या सेलर? इसको फाइंड करने के लिए सिंपल तरीका है, हाउ इज अ टैक्स बर्डन, लेकिन इसके लिए आपको दो चीज़ें पता होना चाहिए. सपोज दैट इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ सप्लाई एंड डिमांड इज गिवन. ओके, एंड इफ यू हैव इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ सप्लाई इज गिवन, सपोज दैट आई हैव टेकन एग्जांपल 100 minus 10 0.4p and minus 100 plus 0.8. It is a supply function, it is a demand function is given. Okay, and then formula is that it is a buyer, shares of buyer. How we can find the shares of buyer is equal to elasticity of supply upon elasticity of supply minus elasticity of demand. Why is the minus sign here? Because price and demand is relationship between negative, so that's why always negative sign. Price and supply has always positive relationship, then we can that's why positive sign. Okay, if given the linear demand function and linear supply, if government impose any tax, any size of tax like 10%, 20%, 100%, whatever government impose, the how many percentage share by government and how many share by seller and how many percentage buyer. So it is simple formula. So formula is that, please note down, and suppose that given the formula is 100 also. Now you can find if elastic supply is what is 0.6, okay, and 0.6 minus 0.4, it means overall it is a 60%. It means buyers pay 60%, यानी कि कंज्यूमर, इट इज अ कंज्यूमर पे कर रहा है 60% पे करेगा, रेस्ट 40% पेड बाई बायर, सॉरी सेलर. ओके, सेलर. ओके, इफ इलास्टिक सप्लाई एंड डिमांड इज चेंज, इफ इलास्टिसिटी सप्लाई इज 4 एंड डिमांड इज 0.7, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट फार्मूला 100 minus 0.6p and minus 100 plus 0.4p. In this case, next again you can find 0.4 oblique 0.4 minus 0.6. It means it is called 40%. 40% paid by consumer, rest seller. Seller is 60% and consumer here is seller is 40%. It means if supply is more elastic, then if supply is more elastic, then maximum paid share by consumer. Okay, or if supply is less elastic, then tax share paid by seller. Okay, it means the shares of tax incidence share by consumer or producer, consumer or seller. So consumer seller depend on elasticity of demand, elasticity of supply. So if you have given the elasticity of demand, elasticity of supply, you can find how many shares paid by consumer and paid by producer. Okay, it's clear? So you can write. Okay, note down, it's very easy. Thank you.